Hi everyone, thanks for a great discussion this week. One of my biggest takeaways really revolves around our conversation about education and the parent's role within education. I posted a little bit on this, but you guys definitely really added a lot to my viewpoints, which was awesome. Caroline bringing up how in different countries it is education is looked at differently, and how where she is that there are this different viewpoint in terms of how much children should be studying, and how there isn't as much emphasis on physical education and nutrition and those kind of things, but that the memorizing of everything is really important, and how we know that memorizing really doesn't necessarily equal application. So I would argue that that's not really necessarily the best way to learn, but that's the parents have that much influence, and that's what they're going to do. So it's more of a cultural thing that kind of where I brought up that it takes a village to raise children. The village is raising children, just maybe in a way that's different than at least what our American culture and what we believe from some of our educational research shows, that memorizing isn't necessarily the best thing. So that to me then kind of brings up the idea of how are we deciding what's best, and I think part of that is, going back to that teachers should really be the experts on children's learning, and that parents need to listen to teachers, and that maybe the teacher needs to be more involved in raising the child. But then you put so much weight on the teacher on what they should be doing, and what their responsibility is, maybe would be a better way to put it, as opposed to what they should be doing. But that responsibility to raise that child, and don't we want autonomy as parents to be able to raise our children how we want, or that different educational methods work better for some children than others? I think just in further examples, we talked about just the concept of hands-on learning, and how some laboratories were more applicable to some students and better for their learning than they were for others. And so I guess I ultimately just took away that we are still trying to find this balance point, and that there's at both ends of the spectrum of education and teaching our children that we need to work on, and how much should be focused on kind of rote memory of learning, as well as kind of that character development that Locke spoke about as well in education, and finding the balance between the two, because I think there is real importance in yes, learning basic mathematical principles and how to analyze literature and those kind of things, but also how to take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, that kind of thing. So thanks everyone. I hope that everyone enjoys or enjoyed their weekend, depending on when you're watching this. Look forward to talking next week.